Welcome back to the show, everybody. I am your host, Nathan Shansky, and today I'm joined by Olivia DAmato. And Olivia is with us today because I've heard a little bit of her story. She's been in my Business Blueprint coaching program, and she's just had this awesome rise in her own story and her own journey as a photographer. So, Olivia, please introduce yourself. Tell everybody where you're from and what type of work you do.
Amazing. So, like he said, my name's Olivia DAmato, and I'm a wedding photographer based in Buffalo, New York.
I love it. Well, it's been so fun getting to know you, especially on coaching calls. And something that I've always noticed about you, Olivia, is that you're very, very consistent and you always show up with very insightful questions. And over this time period, like I remember right when you joined the program and you were always on these calls, I was always like, this girl is going places. It was only a matter of time. And so it's really cool to see you posted like this massive win. And we're going to get to that a little bit later on in the program. And we're only halfway through the year and you had this massive win.
Yeah.
So tell everybody a little bit about kind of like your backstory before you joined the Business Blueprint and what types of things were going on in your life at that time that made you think, like I would love to take the next step in my business.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could start all the way back from high school. I could do college or just right before my business started. But I could do the bullet point version if you like that version.
Love
Like
it.
kind of
Yeah.
the brief of everything. So essentially, I started Stately Photos when I was really young. I was about 17 years old. I was still in college. But starting even farther back from that, in high school, I was in student government and my teacher gave me a camera and was like, hey, like I need someone to do the senior video. You have to do it. I think it'll be great. And so I'd never done anything like that before, like no photos, no video, nothing. And he trusted me somehow. He's like, you make people feel really good. People trust you. I think that this would be something great for you. Just try it. And that turned out to be something that was the greatest experience in my life in high school at that time. Because once everyone saw the video, they were laughing, they were crying, they were hugging each other. It's right before everybody went to college. And I was like, wow, I think I really did something here, which is crazy. And I never expected that. I never felt like that before. Then I ended up going to school for film photo visual art at Ithaca College, where something very similar happened at that point. My professor in the last semester of my freshman year was like, you can do film and photo, but I think you're a photographer. Give me one semester, take this camera, just trust me. And I think that you're going to do great things with it. Let me just show you. So I fully trusted her. She's amazing. She still teaches there. I still talk to her quite often, just thanking her for directing me in that path and just kind of having her be there for me. And again, she really showed me the potential I could have as a photographer. Something really clicked in that area where I initially was photographing landscapes and buildings and architecture and was on the path to be maybe like a real estate photographer. And then she's like, you need to work with people. So again, she showed me very, very quickly that people trusted me. Me working with people was something that I actually really enjoyed doing, even though I'm a little bit more introverted. I found myself being extroverted in these scenarios. So I was like, wow, I'm really drawn to that feeling. And so I ended up graduating with a BFA in film photo visual art with a minor in just photography. So we really cool. Honed in on portrait photography at that point as well. And when I was a sophomore in college, this is where it all kind of began, where I was actually studying in Italy, doing fine art photography abroad, and COVID hit, sent us all home. And they were like, my school just basically told us we could do school online or we could come back and just be separated from each other. So I decided to do school online at home, which is where my mom and I ended up having a conversation over coffee. I was like, I just don't know what to do. I really just feel lost right now. And my mom and my dad are just so supportive and they're all about making sure that we really follow our passions in life. So she's like, without even thinking about it, what do you actually love? And I'm like, I'm a hopeless romantic. I love love. I love photography. She's like, you know what? Like, why don't we just start a business name, see where it goes? And I ended up getting an inquiry. Actually, I believe it was that month where someone's wedding photographer got COVID and asked me if I could do their wedding. And that's where it all began. So so it's very much so a lot of people led me to this path in life. And I truly think that they're in my life for a reason and pushed me those ways. And it just really worked out.
Sounds like you have some really cool people in your life who
Yeah.
helped you just kind of understand yourself and like get to where you needed to be.
Yeah.
I think that's a really rare thing. And I know a lot of people, they actually feel like the opposite, that there's people
Yeah.
in their life who are almost discouraging that parts of themselves. So yeah, that's really
Yeah.
special. But anyways, I interrupted you. Keep going.
No, that's okay. I mean, like you said, my whole family, I come from a very big family. Everybody's just so supportive. Everyone has followed their own path. My parents are just like, they say all the time, you could be the best pencil sharper, pencil sharpener in the whole world and be the best at it. And we don't care. We still love you.
Aw.
So once I told them my passion in life, they were like, yes, go for it. Anything we can
Mm.
do to support you, that's great. And so in the first few years, I was just so excited that people were actually just paying me to do something that I loved. And I didn't necessarily stop myself to ask, okay, is this a sustainable business? Is this something that is going to last? I was just happy.
Yeah.
Um, but then eventually one wedding turned into 5, turned into 10 the next year, 15, 25, and then 35, which was great. And it sounded like a really great accomplishment. But at that point, I was really overworking myself. I was really tired all the time. I was just pushing and pushing to see like more, thinking that more being more busy was more successful.
Mm.
And as it turns out, it doesn't always mean that. So I knew how to photograph weddings. I knew how to maintain my couples and just have that relationship. But I really, really didn't know the business side of
Yeah.
any of it. So that's where I actually ended up getting a dog, and I was walking my dog and I was like, I'm going to start listening to podcasts. This is really great. I think they'd be wonderful. And I turned on your podcast, and I think it was one of the ones where you were just talking about the success that people had in the business blueprint program. I was like, wow, I've never heard of this before. This is incredible. So I started following you, and a lot of the people that I interact with on a daily basis, photographers in Buffalo, were like, we love him. You should do it. You should do it. Again,
Wow.
just really supportive people in my life. And then that's where I was just like, you know what, this feels so right. Everything's aligning right now.
Yeah.
I ended up getting my studio at the same week. I got my dog. I listened to your
Wow.
podcast, and I was like, this sounds like it's aligning perfectly to join the program. So that's what we did.
So cool. You're like, I got my dog. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
He's
so
a big
cool.
part of how I feel like this all worked out for me. Like
Really?
I started walking a lot more. I started having a lot of better just clarity in my life. And
Yeah.
then that's how a lot of things clicked for me. So I feel like it all comes back to Charlie. But
Love it. It's so
Yeah.
funny you say that too. Like sometimes when I know when I first got into podcasts and listening to audiobooks and business type of pieces of content, it was a lot of just like going out for walks with my dog
Yeah.
and listening to things. And that's actually
Mhm.
funny. You're making that connection for me right now. I'm like, yeah, that actually is where a lot of that started. That's so fascinating. So
No,
what did you feel
absolutely.
like on like a really specific level? You had some success on your own. So you felt a little burned out and you felt a little bit like just working hard is not the goal here. And just being
Yeah.
busy is not the goal here. And what was that point for you where you're like, this isn't really what I want, and I think I can do this better? And like, what were those pain points for you?
Yeah, so like the lowest point I think I would have is actually really confusing because technically things were going well for me.
Mhm.
I was booked, I was making money, I had something that I was proud of because finally my passion was paying off, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. People are
Yeah.
booking me because I make them feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But I constantly felt like I should be doing more. If inquiries slowed down, I just really panicked. If I saw another photographer doing something differently, I wondered if I needed to do that as well.
Mm.
So I was second guessing myself. I was worried about raising my prices, lowering my prices. I just didn't know where that laid for me. And I think the hardest part was realizing that I created something that I really dreamed about, but if I wasn't careful, I could also create something that burns me out even more than I felt at that time, I guess.
Yeah.
So I was working every weekend, editing every night. Again, I was working really, really hard, but at that same time, I realized I didn't want to spend my whole 20s building something where when I get to my 30s, I'm just like, you know what? I can't sustain this anymore. I'm done. So I
Mm.
realized that I do want to have a home someday. I do want to be a mom someday. I feel like I'm a dog mom right now. So I'm a mom in training. But that's, I mean, beside the point is that I really do want to have a family. I really do want to be a wife, a mom. I want to be a business owner. I just want to do it all, but I also want to do it well. And I also want to make sure that I'm actually being able to enjoy those things rather than, again,
Yeah.
burning myself out, ignoring my future family, and just focusing on getting a business off the ground that could be off the ground if I just had a plan.
Right. Yeah, wow,
Yeah,
that's so well said. I think a lot of people would relate to you in that, Olivia. I think a lot of
yeah,
people feel like they're like, okay, this is sustainable, but it's not something that I can sustain with all the other things that I also want in my life. And I think it's so
mhm.
perceptive of you to look future wise and to say, this is fine for now, but this will not be fine in the future based on what my goals are. I mean, even I still have that in my business. Like, I'm having a second kid in the fall. And I'm like, there's so many alarm bells going off in
Yeah,
my head now because I'm like, okay, when we have a second kid, like that's going to be just naturally, there's going to be more happening in our life. And I don't want to just like
exactly.
dump everything on my wife. Like, I want to be there for her. I want to be there for our kids. And so I'm like, even now, freeing up certain parts of my life so that I'm very
Hmm.
present for that. And I think that's a really powerful message to tell a lot of people that are listening, that even though something may be okay for you now, you have to look at future and say, is this where I want to be long term?
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so tell me a little bit about kind of like what changed and like, well, let me ask you this. You tell us where you're sitting as of now, which we're like halfway through the year-ish. Like, what have you been able to accomplish even in this year?
Yeah, so I mean, this year it's just crazy because a few years ago I would never even imagine being able to achieve this goal, and right now I just hit my first 100K, which was about a month ago, and now last week it turned into 120K, which is just
Wow.
incredible. And so now I'm setting new financial goals for myself because I'm like, well, I achieved that one now, so I think I could start looking towards the next one, but not to be greedy, but more so to be like, wow, like now this money is life changing for me and I want to build a
Mm,
home. I want to have a family, like I said. I really
yeah.
want to be able to help support my future husband with like surviving in a different way for ourselves where we
Yeah.
never imagined that we actually could before I joined
Yeah.
this program. And
Yeah.
now it's just, I have my studio. Like I said, I have my dog. We're thinking about a future family very soon. We're hoping to build a
Wow.
house this coming summer. So there's just a lot of changes that are now possible that wouldn't have been possible without hitting that goal. So it's not just financial. The money doesn't really matter. It's just more so that hitting that goal financially is allowing me to have the life I actually want to have rather than focusing on just money hungry.
Well said. Very well said. I always tell people get specific on why you want the money. It's not just the
Yeah.
money. Like, the money won't make you feel any different, but it's the way that it can
No.
shift your lifestyle, that it can impact things in your life that you find are very important for you, which are in so many ways. Like, it's like you said, it's not just I'm greedy. It's that I have
No.
specific goals that are very honorable goals that I really want for my family, or I want for just like my well-being, and just the way that I can pour out of a full cup in my
Yeah.
life instead of from an empty cup. Those things are wild. So you guys are thinking about buying or building a house, you said?
Yeah, so he's got about, I think, 40 acres of land. I could be wrong, but a lot
Whoa.
of land that used to be his grandpa's land. His grandpa's still alive, but he just wants us to have this land to have a family on and build a house on. So my boyfriend's very handy. So he's like, we're
Wow.
going to build this house. We're going to do it brick by brick. And he's hoping by next summer to start like putting the shovel in the ground, start building that house. And I think the goal is to get married at our house. We have a pond in the back,
So
gazebo
cool.
back there, and hopefully start our family very soon after that. So I would say maybe 3 to 5 years from now, but that's still not that far away when you look at the grand scheme of things. And it's just
Yeah,
like very exciting and something again that it's of course like the right person, the right time, the right
totally.
business moves, the right people in my life guiding me towards all these great things happening. And because of all those things, now we can actually seriously think about starting all those parts of our lives.
And how old are you guys? About
I'm 25 and oh, we're both 25.
25? Did you hear my latest episode where I was basically
I
like,
did.
people don't get into a house these days until they're 40?
Yeah.
So the
Yeah, so
fact
that's
that
actually
you,
something I was going to talk to you about this week. Is I was like, this is so crazy now that all these things are happening, and I did just listen to your latest episode.
so wild. It's just crazy to me how, like, it's almost like these two, like the tale of two cities of,
Hmm.
again, so many people. They are part of this rat race. They are part of this, like, gridlocked highway that everyone else is on of like, yeah, we just have to do what everyone else does. We can't get a house till we're 40. And then when we do get a house, it's going to not be anything like what we think would be a dream house.
Yeah.
And then even from there, we're on this huge loan. We can't afford to pay mortgages. It's like this nightmare.
Yeah.
It's the American nightmare. It's not the American
Yeah.
dream. And instead,
No.
you guys are in a place where you're actually considering all of these possibilities at just like this, in this amazing way. And you're 25. That's wild. I just want you to understand how unique that is, Olivia.
Thank you.
And almost just like pat yourself in the back for putting in the work to make it happen. Because I know I can attest that it's not this easy thing. It takes work. It takes smart thinking. It takes really careful planning and decision making and humbling yourself too. So good for you. I would also love to know a little bit about, because people are going to be thinking this as they're listening to this. They're going to be like, okay, Olivia, what really changed the game for you? Like what really helped you in a way that you didn't have before?
Yeah. So I think honestly, and I'm not just saying this because I'm talking to you right now, I think it's your course 100%. It gave me direction. It gave me clarity on what I needed to do. And honestly, like you said, you're not being blunt to us to tell us this is what you have to do because I don't want you to succeed. It's more so because you do want us to. So your honesty with me, I mean, has helped me grow my business, has helped me see things from a different perspective. And it's like, I'm putting a lot of trust into you and everyone else in this program and saying, hey, here's all my things that I've created. They're not really done yet. They're in the baby stage right now, but like, how do I help this grow into something that's great that I can look back on and say, wow, I really did something with that. So I think that your course is number one, the biggest thing that has significantly changed like my life, my business, everything that I can look forward to in the future.
Wow.
And I also think that making business decisions based off of fear and emotion rather than the facts was a huge one for me. So actually understanding my numbers and realizing, okay, like this is what I need to charge for this to make sense or that to make sense gave me so much more confidence to say, okay, now I can actually, I don't have to charge for a loaf of bread and some jam. Like I can actually charge because like, even though I know these people, they want to support me in the life that I want to have. So the biggest shift was understanding not only what I wanted Stately Voters to be and where I wanted it to help my family in the future, the money I wanted to make in order to make that happen, your course itself, but also the fact that I don't need to take on every single couple that comes my way if they don't align with my values as well. That's a huge one. So I really love like photographing couples who just deeply care about the people that are actually around them, that really want to be in their day. And the biggest, I guess, keyword for me this year is intentional. So everything is so intentional. And I want to find the people that want to book me because they found my business and they have my beliefs and my values and it aligns perfectly. And it's just so intentional and it just makes things more enjoyable for all of us because now they're getting something that they've only dreamed of and I can actually help them achieve. And once I understood that, my marketing changed, my website changed, my pricing changed, the entire experience changed. And then I stopped really asking myself, like, how do I get more weddings just to get more weddings? And started asking myself, like, how do I build a business where I can actually photograph fewer weddings with more aligned people and give them the best experience I possibly can? And once I started asking that question, honestly, because of your course, I think that's like one of the first things we start talking about in like module 1, the systems and the numbers really began to help make that vision come to life and feel possible for me to make these changes. And I'm not going to lie, like it was very scary initially to just be so vulnerable and be like, you know what, like, let me show everyone everything that I have, but maybe it gets knocked down, but also maybe it gets built back up a little stronger next time too. So it's scary, but it's a good jump.
There's so many sound bites that I just want to like pull out of what you just said because so many photographers need to hear this. Exactly what you said, especially about, I can't even say it how you said it, but basically the goal is not just more weddings or more bookings, but the goal is a specific type of wedding that's most aligned for me that I can give my heart and soul to. I noticed that's something that you've worked on a lot in the past couple months, especially, and even in the past year, is just honing in on what Olivia does best and honing in on who you're speaking to and who you're not speaking to. But I know, Olivia, there will be people listening to this who will say, but I'm missing out on certain people. And I know I'm going to get inquiries from people who don't align with this new niche or this new of what I want for my inquiries and my clients. And like, how do I forfeit them? How do I let them go?
The biggest thing I would say to that is, I mean, there have been clients that have reached out the past year. I guess it would be a year and a half at this point. And once I started realizing that I don't have to open every door that's being knocked at, I was like, oh, like I can open these doors over here. And it's almost like you're on a game show where it's like, maybe I open this door and something comes out of it that I really enjoy, but maybe I open that one and it's not.
Right.
I guess the biggest thing is that if you start saying no to things that don't align for you, things that do align for you will come, and you just have to have trust that will happen.
Yeah.
And
wow.
I just have so much faith now knowing that that is what's happening. And it's like,
Right.
you know what? Like I said no for a reason. I got this gut feeling for a reason that something's just not going to align. And down the road, future Olivia is definitely going to thank myself for that. So then present Olivia can just stay calm knowing that something else will come its way. And I mean, that's something that my sister Mia has said all the time too. She's like, you know what? Like you don't have to do everything all the time for everyone all the time just to say yes. But sometimes saying no is really healthy too.
Yeah. Very, very well said. It's so true. It's like you in this present moment might feel really strongly about something, but future you might be like, or not even that you'd feel strongly about it now. You might be like, oh, I can do it, maybe. And then future you is like, why did we make this decision? Like, why did I do this?
Yeah.
I even tell photographers, like when they think of their pricing, I'm like, the pricing you have now is going to pay you in a year. So you shouldn't be thinking of like, what am I worth right this second? But you should also be thinking like, what am I going to be worth a year from now? Because that's when I'm going to be actually getting this money. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Have you changed anything other than like your niche? Like, have you changed your pricing at all in the past year?
Significantly. So I think that was one of the first things that we did. And like you said, I mean, yeah, that's one of the first things that we did. So I initially, if you want, I could share it with people. So,
oh, go for it. Whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah. So initially, I was charging about $3,000 for 10 hours, which is good for what I needed it for, and that helped me grow and build my business.
Sure.
And I'm never ever gonna like look back at old Olivia and be like, you know what, like I can't believe you did that.
Sure.
But now knowing what I know now, it just significantly changed. So now I'm charging my worth. I charge anywhere between, I think my lowest package right now is $5,500 for 6 hours, all the way to $9,000 for a wedding weekend. And people want it because the experience has been so great for them that they are hearing it from their friends. They are recommending me warm leads, and people are like, yeah, she gave me this great experience, and now she gets to spend the whole weekend with us. Like, and people are telling me that it's a privilege to have me, and I'm like, no, it's my privilege to serve you. But it's just been such an honor, like growing into that and having people trust me with their days. Because it's not about the money; it's about the experience I can provide because of that money.
Beautifully said. Do you think like you probably don't resent those, just because I want to also kind of speak to the fact that your prices were at a lower point at some time.
Yeah.
Do you think there was still purpose in having your prices be a little lower at some point to kind of get yourself in the door and get some experience under your belt?
Yeah, totally. I would say, honestly, like having my lower prices, I didn't know a lot at the time too. So I was growing a business. I was learning the business side of business. I was a photographer that was learning. And so now as I was learning, I was like, you know what? Like, I don't think I'm at the point to charge what I'm charging now because I didn't know what I knew then.
Totally.
And so the biggest thing I would say is that having more weddings for a lower price helped me figure out what I wanted, what I didn't want, what I wanted to experience again, what I never wanted to experience again, the type of people I wanted to work for. And also it helped me kind of build trust in my clients. So some of those clients that I booked way back then, this was about 6 years ago when I started my business. At this point, I'm still doing their family photos today. They're having more kids in their family. So I'm able to watch their families grow and have these milestones in their lives where I still get to document that because they still trust me. So something like that, you really can't put a price tag on because I'm literally getting to watch someone's family grow up. Yeah. And it's just the best experience of my whole life. And now, again, the prices I'm charging now for sessions like that do align with my like ability to, that I've grown and my ability to photograph even better now. So, and they trust me and they trust that jump in my life too. So it's been really great, but it's definitely worth it. Like I would never scold old Olivia for doing that, because now these people are still in my life.
Yeah, I think it's a really important message. And I just want to touch on it because I don't want people listening to my podcast to think that they should resent their early years.
No.
I was there once too. And like, I think there's a time and a place for that. I think the biggest message though is exactly like what you're saying. There's also a time and a place where like, if you've been at that point for a while and you are investing in everything that you are as a business owner, and you are changing those things and you're learning and you're growing and you're developing, your prices should reflect that over time. And you're just like a perfect example, Olivia, of the fact that you can start at that price point of maybe like $3,000, and then you can get yourself all the way up to 5,500 to 9,000. I mean, that's exactly, that's like the goal of all of this.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do have to get your feet wet a little bit with maybe some of those lower price points. And there are some really sweet diamond in the rough type clients in that lower price point. And yep, it's like you said, sometimes they can grow with you as you grow as a photographer, and they will grow their budgets as well. It's like some of them might have been like 20 when they were first paying for you. And then maybe now they're more like 25 and they can pay more of your rates. And so I think that's a really beautiful thing. But props to you for raising your prices that much. That is wild. Like if you went from like 3,000 to almost like, it sounds like 9,000, that's like tripling your prices on certain bookings. So well done.
Thank you,
Olivia. This has been an amazing chat with you. I feel like we covered so many different things, but I would love it if, like, is there anything we haven't talked about or that I haven't asked you about yet that you would just love to share with people? Some piece of advice or some, like, I don't know, like, here's what I would tell my former self or anything like that, that you're like, I just want to leave people with this so that they can take this and run with it. Cause I would have loved to have heard this just like 3 years ago.
Absolutely. So I guess the biggest thing for me is that photography has given me the life that I just couldn't even dream of when I was younger. It's given me, again, my studio, my dog, my boyfriend now, future husband, hopefully soon. And I just didn't realize that I was like even allowed to have that path in my life. And it just opened up so many doors for me. I can work from home. I can spend time with my boyfriend, Parker. Again, I can be with my dogs. I can travel. And having the Tuesdays back in my life, I like to call it, is so special for me. So I can just sit and have coffee, have a meaningful conversation, because my business is doing what it's doing for me while I'm sleeping. And while I'm working, of course, as well. So I think the biggest message I would like to say is that I don't really want success at the cost of missing my own life while I'm documenting everyone else's life. And so that's probably the biggest thing that I've learned in the Business Blueprint program, learned from you, learned from the people in my life. And that the goal is just not more revenue. The goal is just really building a business that financially supports my life without consuming it. And I guess the biggest thing message-wise that I would like to say is I would like to take a breath. Like, I guess I would like to tell myself to take more like deep breaths in the day, just really enjoy what I have going on, move with intention. I would like to tell myself to know my numbers. I'm notorious for being like, yeah, it's about $20, give or take. But I've learned to be like, no, it's $20. That's it. Not approximately, but like actually know your numbers so then you can be successful. I guess a few more things is I would tell myself to stop making everyone happy all the time and stop trying to market to everybody, but hone in on the things that really make me light up. I would build systems sooner and just have those like processes in place. So then again, I can grow quicker and also just have a more sustainable like building block so I can put more rows on my building and more like more levels on my building, I guess to say. I guess the last thing would be I would just definitely join the blueprint sooner, like the business blueprint sooner. I had so many times that I felt stuck in the past that I feel like I wouldn't have with the guidance that you gave me this past year. And you just don't have to do it alone. So when you see people on social media just like going and going and going, like all the time, like most of the times they have people behind them just pushing them and guiding them and lifting them up. So just, you don't have to do it alone. Join a program, join a class, talk to your neighbor, like talk to someone and just like let yourself just be happy with the life that you have because you can.
Yeah,
So
so good. Wow, this is so,
yeah.
I think my favorite of all of those is again just the sustainability topic, that it doesn't have to be you just hustling, hustling, hustling. There's a time and a
Yeah.
place for hustle, absolutely, but that is just not the goal. That's not the life I
Yeah.
live of I just want to work harder and I just want to make more avenues for me to work harder. Then it's like, what are we doing? Like, are we just
Yeah.
building a business so that it consumes our life to do business? Like, that's not what the goal is. The goal is that it builds something else and it builds something that's much deeper so that we can get out of the business seat and get back into
Yeah.
the life, the personal side of things. Olivia, you have given us a treasure trove of things to chew on today. Seriously, thank you, thank you, thank you for all your wisdom. I really, really
Yeah.
appreciate it. Please tell everybody well, first of all, give us your website. And then I'd love if you could give us your Instagram or whatever
Okay.
favorite social media you'd love people to connect with you on.
Yeah. So my website is statelyphotos.com, and then my Instagram is statelyphotos.
Love it. Easy peasy. And
Yeah.
Stately is just spelled
Simple.
Stately.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. I'm seeing it in the background. You have like a little Stately photo sign.
Yeah.
Like reading it off.
Yep. It's STATELY photos.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, Olivia. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. And I know people are going to love this episode. So thanks for sharing this with us.